Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. mouzMorroW here, coming at you with another StarCraft 2 commentary. And today I actually have a co-caster alongside me. I am casting with none other than Doa, who you might recognize from last season's Code A, who's casting with Kelly Melkis over in Korea. How are you doing, Doa? And how's things in Korea right now?
I am doing awesome. I am loving the life in Korea mole-trap. It's just kicked so much ass being at the Foreigner House, getting to watch these guys play and then have them tell me how terrible I am. But no, I'm just kidding. They're actually really nice. But I'm psyched about this game. Actually, this one, mouzMorroW was nice enough to give me the replay after I watched him play it on the Korean ladder and check out who his opponent is. Is that
Wow,
cool or
so
what?
yes, very, very cool replay. Thanks very much for getting this. This is going to be awesome. This is I am Losira from the team Incredible Miracle, and he's playing against none other than mouz Esports MorroW. MorroW, of course, over in Korea right now playing. He was playing as part of the global team, I guess, in the World Championship League, and played on the team and also played in the sort of individual league. And Losira, interestingly enough, now some of you guys are going, that's not Losira, it must be one of his teammates playing on his account because he's Protoss. But Doa was just telling me that apparently he was, in fact, playing Protoss. And so if you see MorroW's style being a little bit peculiar to start off with, Doa already told me ahead of time that he thought that Losira was going to be Zerg, and so he was thinking it was a Zerg versus Zerg game. So we'll see how that progresses. And in fact, MorroW is just going for a pretty standard build, putting down a fast expansion, and it looks like we're going to see him momentarily. Is he going to go for a fast Nexus? Yes, fast Nexus for Losira, actually. So both players going for fast expansion, and I don't think MorroW's quite going to spot this early enough to take too much advantage of it, unless he sends out a drone scout, which will still take a while to get there.
Well, yeah, the funny thing is that when we were starting this game, we were like, oh, ZvZ, MorroW versus Losira, awesome, and we didn't even like look at the race icon that Losira was using, and so MorroW actually at this point still has no idea that he's playing against a Protoss player. He's doing a ZvZ opening right now. We can see him getting his gas as well, so he's going to be going into, I can't even remember what he did, probably just get a decent amount of Zerglings, so hold off the push, probably get some speed, maybe work on some roaches. I think usually if you get the gas after the pool, it's usually roaches. But actually back at the base of Losira, 2 gas going down, and I actually hadn't watched this from the perspective of being able to see Losira's base, so that's very interesting. That's 2 really fast gas after 2 Nexus, especially considering you got a Forge first.
That is pretty interesting.
Weird.
He is going to just use that Forge, it looks like, to kind of block and make sure he's shored up defensively. And you're right, there's Roach 1 going down. So don't spoil it for us too much as far as what Losira is going to do, but that leads me to believe... You know, I've seen a lot of Protoss players recently who go for a fast expansion, and then they're like, you know what? Void Ray Colossus is imba. I'm just going to go Void Ray Colossus. You know, I'm just going to wall in and just go Void Ray Colossus as fast as possible and just not die until I can get, you know, epic units out and then try and kill him with that. And MorroW sees that sees the probe come in and says, what the frick, Protoss?
Yep.
Oh man, that is hilarious. That is hilarious. They're both laughing about it though, so that's cool. This was played on the Korean ladder, is that correct?
Yes, this was a Korean ladder game. All the pros in the Foreigner House are quite high enough on the ladder now to get matched up against the best players in Korea, as you can see. So we see games like this pretty regularly. I know Moonglade played against Nada the other day, and I know Damaga actually played against Losira yesterday. So yeah, we actually see this quite a bit. Looks like MorroW sending out some Zerglings to do a little bit of scouting around the map. They're just kind of hanging out at the bottom right part. Doesn't even know where his opponent is quite yet.
Yeah, he doesn't even know where Losira spawned yet.
Things are not looking too good for MorroW at this point.
Wow, so Losira getting a ton of gas, and he's actually getting +1 weapons on his Forge. If you're getting a Forge for an expansion, you might as well. Losira, he got that scout in there, so he saw... Actually, let me double check. He doesn't know about the Roach Warren, actually, so he doesn't know if there's any kind of bust coming. If he'd seen that Roach Warren, I think he probably would want to get up some more cannons because he might be a little bit worried. And there's a couple Stargates going down, so he's probably going to... Actually, I don't know if it's going to be Void Rays or Phoenixes, but you need a lot of gas for air units like that, so I'm not surprised to see a heavy tech build going on. And MorroW is actually rallying more and more roaches, producing lots and lots of roaches. And he's confirming you are actually Losira, right? He says, okay.
Just wanted to make sure. Yep.
It's good to make sure, that kind of thing. He's only got one cannon, actually, so these roaches,
Protoss.
with more coming in to help out, could do a lot of damage. And there's only that one probe blocking the top there. Not even a zealot.
That's a little bit,
this is
a
going
little
to
bit
be
dangerous for Losira.
Yeah, this is.
Very risky opening, only going with one cannon there. You can definitely see that Losira hasn't played quite as much Protoss. I mean, the opening he's doing is pretty crazy. And I know when I was talking to MorroW was like, all right, I'm just going to try to make roaches. That's like the only thing I can do. And MorroW moving in right now, going after that cannon. And he's going to be able to take it down. Oh, wow, the Zerglings are going to get in as well, I think.
Oh, Pylon blocks those Zerglings from getting in just barely enough. No, a few can squeeze around the top of that pylon. 2 more cannons do warp in. They're going to take care of the Zerglings, but it looks like Losira might lose his whole front line to these roaches. No, the Zerglings do get in, are able to surround those cannons. Void Ray pops out at just the right moment, and 2 more Void Rays on the way, but it's just going to be a race to see how much damage MorroW can do with these roaches and lings before those Void Rays kill all of his units, which is inevitable. The lings going in to try and kill some probes, I like that. Stopping mining as well, but 2 more Void Rays are on the way, and they are very close to complete, so it's just a matter of time before this does get cleaned up, and it's just going to be damage control. Losira just trying to lose as few probes as possible. Oh, kills the pylon, stopping those extra 2 Void Rays. I don't think he's going to get that Nexus down, though. If he targeted it with lings, maybe he probably could have gotten it, but looks like he's not quite going to get that, unfortunately.
MorroW's just trying to do everything he can right now to win. He's got a lot of speedlings, he's got roaches, but yeah, those 2 Void Rays out are going to be able to keep Losira pretty safe. But here come more lings from MorroW. He's going to try to run around, kill as many probes again as he can. Going after that pylon again, if he can kill that again, which it looks like he's going to be able to. Those Void Rays are going to be delayed even more. And Losira actually maybe in a little bit of trouble here. He's losing a lot of probes, but again, I mean, Void Rays kind of trump everything right now. MorroW trying to pump out as many queens as possible, too, I believe, at this point.
Yeah, and he's got more roaches in the natural as well. He is going to get that natural Nexus. Warp gate tech finishes, and he's able to start morphing into warp gates. Well, that one gateway, rather, into a warp gate, but it's going to get unpowered immediately. I don't think he even got it. He got a single stalker out with that warp gate before it was unpowered. Zerglings are going to take care of that stalker regardless, so it doesn't matter. So he's just working off these 2 stargates, which were unpowered for a while as well, just trying to get out as many Void Rays as possible to deal with these roaches. Looks like he might actually get that gateway. 35 hit points, 5 hit points, and it does get the last hit on that gateway. So, a very interesting situation. Losira, kind of crippled as far as his basic tech, but he still has 2 Stargates. He's got 4 Void Rays, making Phoenixes to follow up, and it looks like in the background, MorroW is still just trying to go crazy, just build units and get him. He is teching in the background. He just have them
That's all he can do right now.
Den, and if he gets a round of Hydralisks out, then that's going to be GG, because Hydralisks own air, and that's all he has is 2 Stargates right now.
Yeah, MorroW's doing a little bit better, but he's still in such a rough situation right now. I mean, chrono boosting out those Phoenixes like Losira is doing is going to be something that's going to help him a ton. He's going to be able to lift Hydralisks, lift Queens, so MorroW is definitely not out of the wood yet, but another huge group of Speedlings coming in from MorroW right now. He splits off a couple of them to go after the pylon, the rest going after the probes again. Taking a look at the income tab real quick, both players still fairly even, although Losira is dropping quickly. Those probes were able to clean up the lings, so MorroW's just going to go after those Stargates now. He kind of has to take those down, but in the meantime, more Void Rays at the base of MorroW. Phoenix is picking up the Queens, and things are looking a little bit rough for MorroW right now.
He's pretty low on energy. He can't do much more picking up, but he's even lower on Queens, so these Void Rays can just power down those Queens without picking them up. He's just trying to get as many Hydralisks as he can, but unfortunately, I think he might have been better off rallying Hydras to his main until he had like 6 or 7 or 8 of them, because sending them in piecemeal, he just got them all picked up and owned by the Void Rays, so he's going to lose his natural, and he is making a couple more Hydras and a Queen, and he is rallied inside of his main now. In the meantime, those Zerglings have been continuing to attack, just continuing to keep Losira from mining too much, but I think, I don't know if he's going to be able to overcome these Void Rays and Phoenixes at this point. There's just too much.
It's a ridiculous air army that Losira has managed to produce. Look at that. Somehow he was able to produce 5 Phoenixes despite everything that was going on in his base. The macro of Losira is just amazing, even under pressure. But back at the base of Losira, though, those Speedlings are finally taking down the Stargates. The first one does go down, and the second one will follow pretty quickly. So that's going to be pretty good for MorroW.
Yeah, this is like almost an elimination race. Both players have stuff
Yeah.
that doesn't really attack each other very well. And they're just going to try and see who can kill off the other first. He's going to try and get all those probes. If he can kill off those probes, that'd be huge. If not, they're going to be able to make pylons all over the map. And it's going to be hard to kill him off in time. He's killed off all but a few probes. Oh my gosh, he's down to 8 probes. 7, 6, 5, 3. And the drones are getting away. He can make extractors everywhere if he wants. No probes on the map. And he is making a couple probes back at his main, but those Void Rays are just basically saying, all right, well, we're just going to see if we can kill everything off fast enough. And he only has a few buildings left. I think it's just those tech buildings and a hatchery. He has expanded to the top, actually, so he's not even being revealed. I think MorroW might just be able to win an elimination. Well, no. Actually, there's a couple warp gates there. If he can get a couple zealots in, might change things up.
Yeah, it's going to be really tough. I mean, it is kind of a base race right now. MorroW was able to get that hatchery up, and he's got a bunch of drones sitting there to make sure that he's safe. He did, like, type a little happy eyes icon to Losira, so I think MorroW's feeling pretty confident at this point. And Losira doesn't even have enough minerals right now to even make a pylon, or a zealot or anything like that. So MorroW actually may be able to pull out the win if he can kill Losira's base before Losira can kill his.
Oh, no,
2 stalkers out.
He said
Last units.
He sent Phoenixes out to try and find MorroW's last base, and he didn't find it with his Phoenixes. So he's found a couple Hydros, though, so he may find it soon. The Void Rays are epically slow, though. So I don't know if they're going to be able to get up. That is just that one hatchery, and I think he's sending his drones out different directions. He's going to have to try and make an extractor or something, at least try and make sure they don't get killed off by these Phoenixes. Zergling's going to work, and it is just down to those 2 warp gates, a couple pylons in the south. But he's going to get revealed here pretty soon. The hatchery is going to be under attack from Void Rays at any moment. Drones streaming all across the map in different directions. I think he has enough for 1 extractor. Yes, so he's going to build 1 extractor. And, oh my god, this is so close. It is going to come down to...
Losira knows.
Wow. Wow.
Oh, no. Yep. So there you go. I guess if you think your opponent is Zerg and don't find out for a long time, you're ending up you can be okay. Just make a lot of roaches and speedlings, but again, that risky air opening from Losira.
GG coming from Losira. Wow, epic win, and the pylons were revealed, so he knew where they were, and the Void Ray is just a little bit too slow. We're not going to be able to make it down to those extractors in time. So, oh, there was one down here as well. Wow, that was freaking epic. That was totally awesome. Thanks very much to MorroW for giving the replay to Doa. And Doa, thanks very much for casting alongside me. You got any last comments? Why don't you give a shout out to your YouTube channel or Twitter or anything like that if you want to, since this is going on my account and everyone already knows about my Twitter.
Well, my YouTube is DOA StarCraft, so you can just do a search for that and find it. Otherwise, my Twitter also is DOA_SC, which I should change because it's a totally stupid name for my Twitter. But anyway, that's what it is. And yeah, pleasure casting with you, Moletrap. I'm sure we'll be casting again in the future, and I guess that's about it.
Yeah, it was good times. Thanks for coming along, and thanks for the epic replay. Hope you guys all enjoyed it. Thanks very much. GG. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.